Well, hello stampers, it's the Pampered Stamper, and I'm finally making this video. I was hoping to do it hours ago, but life got in the way, and then I had technological difficulties, and here we are. So happy Thanksgiving, Canadians. I am still in the Netherlands for another 10 days, and Thanksgiving is not a holiday in Europe. This is definitely a North American holiday because of the pilgrims that came in the 1700s. And also, there are no big fall colors here, so I thought today I would grab the Gorgeous Leaves stamp set and create a little color, a little nostalgia, and a little festivity to celebrate Thanksgiving. So I hope you join me. We're just going to play around a little bit with some fun techniques that I haven't shared in a long time. So here we are, and it is a beautiful sunny day, so there's a little bit of sun and shadow playing here. The card actually looks like this. And I might play around with the light yet because it's not very pleasant, is it? So the background was made with alcohol and blends. And I used Real Red, Daffodil Delight, and Cajun Craze, typical fall colors. And then the other secret ingredient is a 99% rubbing alcohol. So I'm just going to pause this for a minute and see if I can get better. So I'm back again, and I think the light is a little bit better. You'll like when I move my hands, there's a shadow, which is really annoying. But you know what? You've got to make work with what you have. So these are the two cards that I made today. And my story is that you see how this card has a cutout leaf? I had the piece of Real Red that I was looking for was a Real Red card base already. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to cut out this leaf. And here it is. It's this one right here that I cut out. And it left an opening. So then I had made this beautiful background with alcohol. And I thought, you know what? I want to put this in behind. It makes such a cute peekaboo card. I've never made one like that. So I have no idea if someone has already thought of that. So I just cut this 2¼ inch off to make this. And so it says, let's see, 2 simple words filled with warmth and gratitude, you and me. So I'm giving this card to Gerard because I'm truly thankful for him. And I know he's going to miss me terribly when I leave. Hope this card makes you smile. So here's where the words are from. They are from Arctic Bears. And who would have thought to use this stamp set for Thanksgiving? But warmth and gratitude, that's the thing. And then I also used this, and it says, hope this card makes you smile. This is in your words, and it was a stamp set that you could get for free during celebration. So I love that. Then we're also going to use Gorgeous Leaves. And for my second card, I used Met and Knipoog, which is a wonderful Dutch stamp set. So there we have it. So we're going to get started with a piece of vellum. Okay, so I have my vellum here, and we're just going to take some blends. And what I have is Real Red, Daffodil Delight, and Cajun Craze. Whoopsie. And then I'm going to add a touch of cherry cobbler. Now I am working without some tools that I'd really like to have. I don't have a spritzer here, and I don't have a regular paintbrush, but I do have an old aqua painter, so that's what I'm going to use. And you start with just scribbling your blends on the vellum. Okay, use your brush tip, and you're just really going to scribble. I really mean that. I'm kind of going so that I have room to fill in with other cards. That's the dark Real Red. I'm going to add a little bit of light just to give a bit of shading. Then we're going to add some Daffodil Delight. I wish we had crushed curry, but we don't have crushed curry in blends. So Stampin' Up, if you're listening to this, I would like that. So now we have some dark Cajun Craze. And this is just a really fun technique. I'm not going to make the whole card with you. I just wanted to share a technique. So I'm going to add a little bit of light Cajun Craze in between. And then maybe I'll add some other colors later too. You can go over top of your colors a little bit if you want. Now some cherry cobbler. I do love myself a really dark red. Isn't that gorgeous? And we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll add some more yellow too. Yeah, a little bit more yellow. And then we'll watch the magic happen. There comes Bailey. Bailey has learned to climb up the stairs and she's always so excited to see me. Okay, so now we have this. Now we're going to take our alcohol. And normally I put this in a little glass, but you know what? I'm just going to put a little bit in the lid. And here we go. So there's some in the lid. Now here's my aqua painter. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to drop some alcohol on here and just watch what happens. It spreads and the colors blend a little bit. And this is where it's hard for me to be patient, because sometimes less is more with this technique. And you get that really neat edge of the colors. You can help it around a little bit by pouncing on it. And I'm just going to clean my brush a little bit. Isn't that cool? Gerard just got back from a run. He's watching me.
Are you getting inspired with the retro videos?
No, you know, have you done anything with it yet? I have a plan. So last night, it was Sunday, and Gerard says to me, why don't you come and stand beside me? He says to me, you know what I do when I'm lonely? He says, look at this. He's got Chromecast or whatever, so he casts YouTube to the television in his living room, and then he's got my videos, and he watches my videos. And so at first I was a little annoyed, to be totally truthful. I don't like listening to myself. I never watch my own videos. But I got a little intrigued because some of the videos that he pulled up were quite old. And I was learning for myself, and I was seeing how much I've changed over the years. You could tell what season of my life it was by what ring I was wearing, which was also interesting. But then I got an idea, and I said, you know what? It would be really cool if you would share your favorite videos once a week. So especially when I'm back in Canada and he's missing me, so I made him an admin on my Pampered Stamper page, and I'm hoping that he does this because I think it's really cool. It's neat to see my work through someone else's eyes, and I think you might see some really cool videos because some of the stuff is timeless. Oh, it's starting to. I'm getting a little carried away. See how my colors are pooling a little bit in the middle? That's not what I wanted, but now I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit so it spreads. So I'm just going to talk to you for a minute. So I'm hoping that Gerard shares his favorite videos and that he also writes maybe what he liked about it. He's holding the heat gun, but I'm not going to heat set it because when you heat set it, you can do that if you want to speed things up a little bit. But what it does is you will sacrifice color. So if you heat set your alcohol mixed blends, then the colors will dull a little bit. So you don't want to do that. And the other thing that might happen is that your vellum might warp. So with the magic of technology, we'll be back in a minute. So my trick, I don't have any paper towels, so I'm using a little bit of toilet paper, and I'm just blotting it because I want to soak it up a little bit. I don't want it to pool. But you see how nice and dark that spot is right there? I love that. And I love those little edges that you see. So we're just going to move that out of the way. And then later on, when my piece had dried, I stamped that leaf, the maple leaf, on here, and I embossed it with silver. And then the other thing is you're going to take this piece of vellum and you put it on a piece of white cardstock, and that just makes the colors pop even more. So that's what happened here. I'll blog about it and explain it a little bit. And then this was just stamped with a Stamparatus using early espresso ink, and I stamped it a few times to make it nice and dark. Now it's time for another trick with the Stamparatus. Okay, people, now I'm going to show you a little trick with this card. And I just realized I almost was going to make a mistake. What you need for this background is shimmery white paper. Oh, I better get in the screen there. Now you can see all of me. I had to kind of fiddle with things and move the camera and stuff so that I'm in the right light, but now I have to think about where I am in the screen. So shimmery white paper, I have a piece that's just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And the next trick, use your Stamparatus because we're going to do some cool things. Put it in the corner, and you're going to stamp your image as far away from the hinge as possible. So I have, let me just check if it's clean. It is clean. I have a maple leaf stamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to stamp it in red. Now, yep, Got a whole stack of ink pads here. We're going to stamp it in red first, and then tap. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Now, what I want to do is, my cleaner is, oh yeah, here it is. Okay, I'm going to clean off the stamp, and then I'm going to sponge on another color. And I can do that because the Stamparatus is kind of not going to move. It's beautiful. So I'm taking a bit of yellow, crushed curry, and I'm dabbing it on my stamp. Can't think of my words. Now I could use the ink pad as well, but then it's probably going to be kind of, there might be lines. It's not going to be as nice. I'm going to do a little bit more. And I might just eat my words and use the ink pad if I run out of patience. I'm trying to go just along the edges, and perhaps I should have gone with the yellow first, but you know, you get varying results when you do this. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone with the red first, but it's not a big deal. See, with this leaf here, I did yellow first, and then I sponged on the red. It was a much better idea, but we can do that later. So now, the trick is, now, get me chamois, you have to wipe your stamp off again, and now we're going to stamp it with Versamark, because the technique that I'm showing here is called Versamark, or Emboss Resist. So I'm going to ink it up in Versamark a couple of times to make sure that it's really well done. Always make sure your thing stays in the corner. One more. And then we're going to clear emboss this baby. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take this, and I have a coffee filter here, but it's really kind of, I don't have the right kind. So I was, oh yeah, it's really butchered, but that's okay. Here we go. And now I need clear embossing powder. Okay, clear embossing powder. Pour it onto our leaf. And then I gave it a little tap. You notice a good flick with my finger to get rid of the excess. Pour your embossing powder back into your pot and put the lid on, because otherwise it could go flying, and there's no bigger mess than embossing powder that goes everywhere. So now I'm going to see if the cord for my embossing gun reaches. I really hope it does. I think it will. Yeah. I've got this cute little new heat gun because I had to get one here because the cords are different. So there's a first and a second, but I don't use the first. There we go. This is a really cool technique. So watch it change. Don't wave it around. Just hold it in one spot till it starts changing. Look at that. It's magic. You know, I don't know if Gerard has ever seen this. I'm going to have to show him. So now it's all nice and shiny. That's done. I kind of want to do another one. Yeah, we're going to do another one. I wasn't going to do this much because it takes too much time. And you know what? Maybe that's right. I'm not going to do another one. What we're going to do is we're going to take the little spatter stamp, and I'm going to just spatter around the leaf. And we're going to clear emboss. And for this one, I don't need, oh gosh, what have I done? I have a stack of stuff here. There it is. Okay, here we go. I would like to know what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving today. It's beautiful sunny weather here. It's 17 degrees. We'll go for a beach walk later on. There was a brisk wind. I had to pedal hard on my old bike. Okay, so now we're going to do another clear embossing. And what happens is that when you, well, you'll see what happens. The embossed images resist anything that you put over top of them. So this is where it gets fun. I'll just use this as a tag or something, so it won't be a card. All right, remember, back into the pot it goes. You could probably just use a piece of paper as well instead of a coffee filter, but there we go. So now we're going to heat this again, and you won't see this as boldly as the red, but you'll see it turn from a powdery into a clear. And remember, don't wave it around. Just hold it in one spot till it changes. It's much more efficient. See, and I could speed this up, but I'm not going to. There. And then I'm going to trim this off because our shimmer paper is pretty expensive. It's like $1 a sheet. So I don't want to waste the other half. I'm going to trim this to just under 2 inches because that's the size of our tag topper punches. There. And now we're going to take the aqua painter, and I am going to take Old